So welcome everyone. This is our first time to be with William Marshall in a process bringing grace to the planet so that in each moment we can begin to use this amazing grace that he brings through something called the Light Magnificent. So this is our Tuesday night first call. And last night we had a message from William that was about how there are 5 days starting now on the 15th of March of 2022 that we can affect this situation in Ukraine with Russian forces. And last night he led us in an awareness exercise of grace that allowed us to fully understand how we can open our fields, connect our fields together, and begin to support healing in and through all of the situations on the planet, but particularly those that we might focus on. And William is an individual who came into this time in the 1100s and died in the 1200s and was a regent for four kings. His base was the United Kingdom and Ireland, and he went to France and to the Holy Land and many other places. And he brought this light magnificent, which is in essence the Christ light, but not necessarily defined only as Christ, but as a light that includes all of the modalities of light on the planet. So we could think about the light magnificent as being a foundational and very important understanding that William is able to offer us and also to able to expand us through. So I'm going to ask him to speak to you, and what he does is literally stand next to you. So as we begin, you want to come fully into your own presence. So let's start with actually being in our bodies as fully as possible, placing our feet on the earth and opening the space around us to include him, so that in a very direct way we are associated through time and space with all that he represents, and we bring it into this time, we bring it into this moment. So through our breath, he basically says that our breath is the power of our life and our life force, and that we can affect everything with each breath. And he spoke last night about the fact that he is very kind of upset that in our culture we do not honor our breath more and use our breath for change, for transformation, and for transmutation. And that our breath is our most powerful ally, and we begin to use our breath more consciously. So let us settle now into our bodies, into our sits bones if we're sitting on a chair, placing our feet on the earth. And as we breathe, we open our field. And we're not opening it through our mind, we're opening it through our essence. As big and wide as it can be is how it will begin to unfold in this experience that we're going to have right now. We're going to go beyond any limits that we've ever had about anything and begin to feel the power of our breath, the power of no time, no space, no distance, and begin to open this field of grace with William. And so, my friends and comrades, I say to you very deeply and specifically that it has been eons of time that we have awaited this time when all will be turned around and upside down and inside out to bring a new breath of life to planet Earth. I am very respectful and honoring of your presence this evening, to have you come in response to my call to honor life more than any other aspect of being, honoring life. And we choose together this evening to honor life in a way that will encircle all life with this aspect that I call grace, which is a heavenly beacon of light that opens the heart, extends the capacity to be in oneness, and connects us deeply to all earth and all being. And grace is interdimensional. It has no only human definition. It has a definition that is profoundly that of heaven's message to humanity. And what we want to do this evening and tomorrow and the next day and the next day and the next day for 5 days is to spin a web of clarity such that we are bringing to the planet a new opportunity. And to all of her people to share in this extremely amazing field that we are going to now create, that has no time in it and no distance in it. So no matter where you are in this world, no matter what you carry, what you know, what you have seen, or where you have been, we are going to enmesh, integrate all of us together to form this field of comradeship. And I have spoken many times to many individuals about what that field embodies, and I will do so again for you. It is as if we are one being. We put our arms around each other in a huddle, you would say a huddle, hugging, whatever you call, and we would form a circle so our foreheads are touching, and we would become one vessel, an autonomous energy that in its own foundation is a collective of truth. And from what you think of as sharing, sharing our heads, our understandings, we begin to feel together a knowing about each other. When we were in battle before many hundreds of years ago, we would do this so that we knew where everyone in our, what you would think of as a battalion, but everyone in our country experience, where they were, what they were undergoing, what we needed to do, when we needed to turn to support them. And we knew all of this because there is this thing you now call a hologram in your head, where consciousness has the capacity to share entry and exit points so that you can know more than your mind would ever logically know. So I am here to invite you into this field that I shared with many hundreds of individuals, thousands of individuals in different parts of my experience. And we held each other in such respect and esteem that we trusted each other with our lives. We were safe because we held each other in this way. And my invitation to you this evening is to begin that sense of recognition of each other, of the trust and the capacities that you each have, and to be involved in the spaces of each other so that you are beginning to expand the field that we share so that it covers the world. It encircles the world. It encapsulates all that's happening in the world and offers a space of grace to it. Now, as you may have read in preparation for this experience, when we offer grace to all living beings, they accept it. When we offer it from a part of ourselves that is not egoic, does not want anything in return except peace, there is this sense of turning over whatever is being represented so that we are not reacting to it. It is not about, oh, you did this, so I have to do this. You see, in the state of grace that we are now going to enter together, there is no right or wrong. There is just one space of being. And what we want to bring to Ukraine and to Russia and to the leaders and to the soldiers and to the peoples, to the land, to the air, to the water, to the children, to the flowers, to the bushes, to the trees, to the snow, to the ice, to the sky, to everything, is a state of grace where there is an opening to the tightness in the mind that precludes other ways of dealing with what's happening, other ways of choosing reality, other ways of being together in this heart of the one. And when grace is around, it opens and loosens the tensions. It offers another opportunity. And it makes a space available in that relationship with whatever is happening, so that there is this opportunity for opening the experience to another result, to another conscious choice. So there are steps involved in this, which we will go through this evening and then continue to collaborate with throughout the next 4 days. What we want to understand from my guidance, information, and observation is that there is an opportunity now to change the circumstances through this experience of grace and to alter the trajectory of the world's choices now and in the coming days. There is an opening, and we want to take advantage of that opening. Just a strategy, that we are employing here together. And we want to understand that we are in a very tight group of energy, aggregating, bringing together the truth that each of us carries, right? So we are coming together, and then we are going to come apart in a larger circle. And when we come apart in the larger circle, we begin to expand that circle because we are not held in any way by anything. Part of what we will understand and discover is that we are no longer limited in any way. Our consciousness and our breath is always available to transform. And we will use that to transform. And I will charge you to do that. I will ask and request that you do that. Every breath has a meaning, a purpose, a focus, a truth, an order, a light, a consciousness. No breath is wasted. Because with that life force and that power, we together can direct a different outcome. So we will go into the circle of a larger space, and then we will go everywhere, and we will encircle the planet, and we will encircle certain spaces. What I would invite you to do is to release any ideas that you have about good and bad, who is doing what to whom, what should happen, how it should be an outcome, who should be punished. All those kinds of things have no place here because it's carrying duality into a field of union, and it does not fit and does not support or assist. So when we are talking together about forging this place, we forge this place in a very neutral opportunity to observe and understand without taking sides or being for or against, because that does not assist or support the process that's unfolding. I want you to understand that you are part of a team now, and that you are a comrade, and that we trust each other and open to each other as fully as we can. We see each other in our absoluteness, in our light and our brilliance. And that's what we carry forward, and that's what we share. All right? So first of all, feel me next to you wherever you are in the world. Does not matter. Feel me and my presence in your room, in the space next to your body, leaning on you. You can lean on me, whatever, just feel us coming into a space of union together. And that means your breath is deep in your body, your feet are flat on the ground, you are connected to earth, you are connected to the grace that's pouring in the top of your head. And you are just imagining or sensing or feeling that this grace is part of you now. You are a carrier of grace. And the more that you open to the grace that you are, the closer we become together, the more connected we are with each other, and the more my body and your body are one in grace. And grace makes things easy. So you are feeling your breath more deeply in your body. Grace touches any aches or pains or limitations that you may have perceived that you have and releases them to light. Grace offers you an opportunity to be who you truly are and to stand in that authentically, clearly, and strongly. And if it would help you, you can take my hands and we walk together now into the center of a circle in a field. Any field doesn't matter, just imagine that there's a field and all of us are coming together. And many unseen ones are coming as well, and I call them legions because there are thousands and thousands of souls. Some you have known and loved, some you have never met, some you have lived with before, some that are part of your story from many lifetimes. All of these legions are attending Earth at this time because we are at this point of true division and true union, and both are true at the same moment. And so we gather. So first, the human beings gather, those who are now in body gather. And you can imagine, it doesn't matter who you're next to, it doesn't matter if you know them, just imagine or sense that you are being held in this very deep and beautiful huddle by many, many individuals. Some are seen, some are not seen. And then there are legions around you, and we are beginning to build this field of the one heart. And it is love upon love upon love. It doesn't matter where it's coming from. It doesn't matter who is sending it. It is just present for you. Just this amazing amount of love. And what we are going to do is to imagine that this love is going to settle in a circle inside our circle. So on the earth, in between all of our legs, there's a circle where we're standing. And we're going to imagine that we are pouring the love now, pouring the grace, the intention for truth and peace into the center of our circle where we are holding each other so deeply. And we can see flowers blooming, we can see rivers flowing, we can see anything there that will offer us this idea that we bring life and truth to earth. And as the circle of love grows on the earth's surface, we begin to step back and let it grow. And we take one step back at a time, each of us together, making a bigger circle, and the circle within which we stand, and the circle inside of where we stand, is expanding. So we take a step back and we see in front of us that field of love growing and extending its boundaries, its borders. And then we keep moving back and back and back, and this circle inside continues to grow. And as each of us steps back, we are available in the center to actually experience that the whole world actually exists in the circle of love. So we are holding the space for the earth in the center of our circle. Now, the other thing that we want to do right now is extend our field. So we imagine that there is this very big space between our hands now, that we are extending our energy field so big that the earth is growing in the center of the circle, and we are extending out to be able to completely encompass the globe. And from this moment, when you are thinking about or being with your field of energy, it is always now expanded, extended, and capable of holding a charge of consciousness bigger than your mind could imagine. And we feel this now, it's opening and opening so big. And we feel the earth responding to our presence. We feel the legions coming to support us, behind us, thousands and thousands of souls. And just for a moment, we hold that space with them as they are accumulating more and more. And this is the field from which we will call forth the union on planet Earth. So grounding our feet, extending our wings, opening out our consciousness, we embody the truth of all that is. And now in the center of the field of earth that we have created, drop Ukraine and Russia into the center now, and just hold the space of grace. Do your best not to think about activities or ideas or pictures you have. Just let it be. And let the grace flow in and out. Let your consciousness open back and forth. Experience that you are part of this universal grid of consciousness, bringing grace to every player in that drama. Flowing in and out, bringing grace. Extending it, expanding it, being part of it. Surrounding each and every individual with this opportunity to feel this grace, this heavenly essence that takes away fear, competition, and greed, hatred. We feel it flipping all of those emotions over and offering a different solution, a different awareness, a different experience. And every time that we're flowing in this way, there is an opportunity. And some will take that opportunity immediately and some will not. And all we continue to do is hold the space for that possibility. And we feel ourselves as conveyors of this opportunity. And we hold this very steady, no matter what is happening, what we perceive. We are steady, a steady force throughout the days to come, throughout the moments. As we each breathe, we are right here, holding grace for this situation and for planet Earth. For those who are making decisions, those who are in charge of others' lives, those who are acting as leaders and those who are not. We hold the steady flame for each of them, that they will understand differently their place in the story of human evolution. When there is a congruent place for the heart to settle, it will choose that place. If the response of the heart is honored in that moment. So we are offering a congruent space for the hearts of all of these men and women and children and animals and plants and kingdoms. And when we think of any challenge anywhere on our planet, our opportunity is to honor the force of life through breath, offer a congruent field through grace, and always remember that we are in comradeship with each other and offering that type of relationship as well. And so for just a few moments, we will permeate the situation with grace, with our intention and with our breath and with our circle of life and the legions of beings. And we will weave this in among the people, among all the life forms there. Weaving it, just like ribbon candy, yeah. Feeling, weave it. Maybe use your hands, weave this in between people and in between cells and in between minds and in between hearts and all of the opportunities that we could offer for a different outcome. If we change the woven texture of each experience. So I would recommend that you leave an imprint on the field there. It can be a shoe print, a crystal, a flower, a heart, words, images. Leave something there that is representative of your field of truth and light, as if they could see it or feel it in the field afterwards. So let it be whatever comes for you and place it wherever you are encouraged to place it through your wisdom. and anchor it there. Strongly anchor it. There are many rocks. You can put a rock on something, or choose a rock or a crystal or anything that you wish to. And we invite all of the legions to do the same, so that everywhere on the fields of battle, or where there is some challenge, there are markers of truth that can be chosen. If you have more than one, that's fine as well. And now let's imagine that the peace that we are feeling, the grace that we are bringing, the truth that we hold, is spreading over the fields there, over the roads and into the cities and everywhere. Maybe like a fog, it's just all of it is covering over the countryside, the cities, the streets, the broken buildings. Everywhere there is this sense that we are leaving a space. What would we call it? This intense opportunity to restore, to bring healing and grace everywhere there, so that we are able to see where we've been, and they can feel where we've been, and something can begin to shift there. We can open that out, and we can go into the spaces that have not yet been altered, and into the country of Russia itself, and into the capital, and into the places where decisions are made, and we can bring this fog of light, this fog of grace everywhere. Everywhere. And it flows over the edges into the whole globe, and we just feel for one moment as if we have inundated this planet with the grace of light. And all around you, of course, is light as well. And the light magnificent is the love that we held when we came together in the center to create this force. It is the light of all time and space. And it is part of what we have opened and what we are availing ourselves and others of. And now it flows through the fog. The light flows through the fog and dissipates it, and leaves in its place a brilliance, like millions of tiny points of crystal light. And we see the grace dissolving in the light, and the light expanding in all consciousness now, bringing us to the place of our own awareness of the truth of light. And we settle again, we feel each other, we feel our task at hand, and we celebrate that we are working with this together, honoring each other as comrades, and bringing the beauty of grace and the truth of light to all it is. And so we will go from this place now carrying this truth, using it in whatever way throughout the day that we wish, throughout the night, throughout the moments. meeting again in 24 hours to resume together the same experience in some way that will be unfolding. And I thank you again for your presence and your remembrance of how it is to live in the peace of the graceful heart. Thank you. Mm. Thank you all very much. I apologize to anyone who could not understand. We did not have a French translator this evening, so we have recorded it, and perhaps at some point you'll be able to hear it translated. All right, thank you all, and hope to see you tomorrow evening.